So you want to fly a helicopter. It's an exhilarating experience, a dance with the sky itself. Good choice. You're joining a select group of aviators who command these incredible machines. It's a marvel of engineering, a symphony of precisely calibrated components working in perfect harmony. But it's not magic. It's physics, pure and simple. Every movement, every lift, every turn is governed by the laws of nature. And physics has rules. Rules that must be understood, respected, and followed. You can't expect your helicopter to perform the same way every time, regardless of the circumstances, no matter the conditions. Temperature, altitude, wind speed, they all play a critical role. That kind of thinking, that assumption of consistent performance can get you in trouble, fast. It can lead to miscalculations, poor decisions, and potentially dangerous situations. Predicting helicopter performance is the most important job a pilot has. It's the cornerstone of safe and effective flight operations. It's about safety, first and foremost, and making smart decisions based on data, knowledge, and a healthy respect for the environment. This isn't just a boring pre-flight ritual, it's not a box-ticking exercise, it's the foundation of safe flying. It's the process that allows you to anticipate challenges and mitigate risks. Are you lifting a heavy load? Taking off from a mountain pad thousands of feet above sea level? Flying on a hot day with the temperature soaring? Each scenario changes how your helicopter will respond. The air density, the engine performance, the lift generated by the rotors, everything is affected. Knowing your limits, and the machines, keeps you out of dangerous situations. It allows you to operate within a safe envelope, where you have the performance margin you need to handle unexpected events. It's not just about avoiding disaster, it's about efficiency and mission success. A well-planned flight is a smooth flight. If you don't calculate performance, you might burn too much fuel, leaving you stranded. Fail to hover, putting yourself and others at risk, or struggle to clear obstacles, leading to a potentially catastrophic collision. It's like using the wrong tool for a tough job. You're setting yourself up for trouble. You're increasing the likelihood of a negative outcome. We predict performance because lives depend on it. In many helicopter operations, the stakes are incredibly high. It's not pessimism, it's realism. It's about understanding the potential challenges and preparing for them. Air, weight, and wind aren't just textbook concepts, they're real forces that affect every flight. They are the invisible hands that guide and sometimes challenge us. Ignore them, and you're ignoring warning signs. You're turning a blind eye to the very factors that could determine the success or failure of your flight. In aviation, those warnings matter. They are there for a reason and they should never be dismissed lightly. So, let's dive into what really makes helicopters tick, the principles that govern their flight, and sometimes, struggle. Because even with the best planning, challenges can arise. Your safety starts with understanding performance. It's the key to unlocking the full potential of these incredible machines while minimizing the risks. Let's talk density altitude. It's a critical concept for any pilot, especially when operating helicopters. Understanding it can be the difference between a safe flight and a dangerous situation. Air has substance. It's not just empty space, it's a mixture of gases that exert pressure and provide the medium for your rotor blades to generate lift. Your rotors need dense air to generate lift. The denser the air, the more molecules there are for the rotor blades to push down, creating that upward force we rely on. Denser air means better performance. It translates to improved engine efficiency and more effective rotor lift, faster climbs. With dense air, your helicopter can ascend more quickly and efficiently. Easier hovers. Maintaining a stable hover becomes less demanding when the air is dense, requiring less power. More weight capacity. You can carry heavier loads and more passengers when the air is dense, maximizing your helicopter's capabilities, but high altitude, high temperature, and high humidity make air less dense. These factors reduce the air's density, impacting your helicopter's performance. On a hot day, even at sea level, your helicopter acts like it's at a higher altitude. The hot air is less dense, simulating the effects of being at a higher elevation. That's density altitude. The effective altitude your helicopter feels. It's the altitude your helicopter perceives based on the air density, which may differ from the actual altitude. High-density altitude means less engine power and less lift. The engine struggles to produce power, and the rotor blades have less air to work with, reducing lift. Imagine a cool morning. Your helicopter feels strong. The dense, cool air provides optimal conditions for performance. Come back in the afternoon heat and suddenly, it's sluggish. The change in air density dramatically affects your helicopter's capabilities. That's density altitude at work. It's a dynamic factor that constantly influences your helicopter's performance. If you don't account for it, you might not clear obstacles or even get airborne if you're heavy. Overloading your helicopter in high-density altitude conditions can be a recipe for disaster. The engine gasps for air, rotors bite less, and everything takeoff, climb, hover, landing gets harder. Every phase of flight is affected by the density of the air. It's like running a marathon in thin air. You'll feel the burn and your performance drops. Your helicopter will struggle to perform at its best. Understanding density altitude is key to safe flying. It allows you to make informed decisions and avoid potentially dangerous situations. Don't let thin and lazy air catch you off guard. Be prepared and understand the impact of density altitude on your flight. Always check the conditions before you fly. Pay close attention to temperature, altitude, and humidity to calculate density altitude. Your helicopter's limits change with the air. Be aware of these changes and adjust your flight plan accordingly. Know them. Fly safe. Let's talk weight. The heavier the helicopter, the harder it is to fly. Simple as that. Every helicopter has a maximum gross weight. Exceed it, and you're risking everything. But it's not just about total weight, it's about where the weight is, your center of gravity. If the CG is off, control becomes difficult or impossible, especially during hover or takeoff. That's why pilots do weight and balance calculations before every flight. Add a couple of friends and some cargo, and suddenly you're close to the limit, especially on a hot, high day. Extra weight makes every performance penalty from density altitude worse. Before you start the engine, know your numbers. Empty weight, passengers, fuel, baggage. Check the performance charts for the current conditions. If you ignore these calculations, you're not brave, you're reckless. Overloading is a recipe for disaster. Proper planning prevents poor performance and keeps you safe. Don't guess, calculate, your life depends on it. Safe. Wind, sometimes your best friend, sometimes your worst enemy. Headwinds help, they give your rotors extra airflow, shorten takeoff, and improve climb. Landings are easier and more controlled with a headwind. Tailwinds, bad news. You need more speed to get airborne, takeoff runs are longer, and climbs are shallower. Landing with a tailwind means you come in faster and risk overshooting. Crosswinds add another challenge, pushing your helicopter sideways and demanding precise control. Gusty crosswinds can be a real handful, especially for students. Think of wind as an invisible force with a very visible effect. Understanding wind is crucial for safe takeoffs and landings. Always check wind direction and speed before you fly. Use wind to your advantage and respect its power. It can make or break your flight. Humidity, often overlooked, but it matters. Humid air contains more water vapor, making it less dense. Less dense air means less lift and less engine power. On a humid day, your helicopter performs as if it's at a higher altitude, even if it's not hot or high. The effect is subtle, but when combined with heat and weight, it can push you over the edge. Most performance charts factor in humidity, but don't ignore it. When you're near the limits, that sweaty air can be the last straw. Respect humidity as part of your pre-flight planning. Every bit of air density counts. Plan for it. Theory is crucial, but let's see how all of this plays out when the rotors start spinning and you're up in the air, facing real-world conditions. We're about to explore how these concepts affect your helicopter's performance in various scenarios. Cool morning, low-density altitude, light helicopter, everything feels easy. The air is dense, the engine is happy, and the helicopter responds beautifully to every control input. The machine leaps into the air with minimal effort. You have power to spare, and the climb is effortless. Now picture a hot afternoon in Arizona. The sun is beating down, the air shimmers with heat, and the landscape stretches out before you. High-density altitude, full load. Suddenly, you need almost full power just to hover. The helicopter feels sluggish, and every maneuver requires careful planning and execution. Climb is slow, margins are thin. You're constantly monitoring the engine gauges, aware that any sudden change in conditions could push you beyond the helicopter's limits. Or imagine a pinnacle landing on a mountain. The wind howls around you, the ground drops away sharply on all sides, and the margin for error is razor thin. Swirling winds, high elevation, no ground cushion, every factor is working against you. Maintaining a stable hover requires constant vigilance and precise control inputs. Heavy weight makes it even riskier, reducing your power margin and making the helicopter less responsive. One miscalculation, one gust of wind, and you're in trouble. The consequences of a mistake could be severe. On the flip side, a cold day at sea level with a headwind and minimal load, the conditions are ideal. The helicopter feels powerful, takeoffs are short, and you have power to spare. You can almost feel the helicopter saying, "Bring it on!" But don't get complacent. Conditions can change fast. A seemingly perfect day can quickly turn treacherous. These examples show how the same helicopter can behave very differently depending on the circumstances. It's all about understanding the interplay of various factors. Weight, density, altitude, and wind all matter. They are the key ingredients in the recipe for a successful and safe flight. Your job is to know what to expect before you fly. Thorough pre-flight planning is not just a good idea, it's essential. Don't let changing conditions surprise you. Stay ahead of the game by constantly monitoring the weather and adjusting your flight plan as needed. Plan, predict, and respect the limits of both the machine and yourself. Know your limitations and never exceed them. That's how you stay safe, and that's how you become a truly proficient helicopter pilot. Every flight is different. Be ready for anything, and always fly within your capabilities. What's the takeaway? Flying a helicopter demands respect for performance limits. Always do your calculations. Don't guess, don't assume. Use your charts, know your numbers, and check the weather. Be conservative, especially when conditions are marginal. If you're close to the limit, reduce weight or wait for better conditions. Don't let get-there-itis cloud your judgment. Listen to your instructor. They know when it's time to say no. Always have a backup plan for emergencies. When things go wrong, you won't have time to improvise. Mastering flight is about understanding the dance between machine, air, and load. Density, altitude, weight, wind, and even humidity all matter. Predict performance, respect the limits, and make smart decisions. That's how you fly safe and fly like a pro.